Hey guys, welcome back, and this time I'll be doing a movie review for you guys today, and this one is going to be on one I saw not too long ago, and that is Scooby-Doo and Arabian Nights. And this one was released in 1994 as a made-for-TV movie, and over the years I had heard of this one, just never got around seeing it. No particular reason, just never got around to seeing it, and it's not one of the ones I grew up with. Like I'm sure a lot of you other Scooby Doo fans out there probably might have, but I for one didn't. And all my life I've been a huge Scooby Doo fan, so I figured why not pick this one up, a couple months ago, and yeah, so I think it was like a month or two ago is when I got it. Yeah, I think maybe like a month or two ago. Um, but this one is basically about Shaggy and Scooby travel to Arabia for jobs as food tasters at a palace, and they end up overdoing their job and end up getting in some mischief. And Shaggy ends up telling stories. One is basically the story of Aladdin, only it's with a girl, and the other one is about Sinbad the Sailor, and that's basically the whole plot of the movie. And also, we have other Hanna-Barbera characters. We got Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. Yogi Bear's the genie, and Boo Boo is basically is like, right hand man, basically. And Miguel Gorilla is Sinbad the Sailor. And yeah, so here's a side in the back, and here's a disc art, and that is Yogi Bear as the genie right there. And here's a special feature, so you can pause and read that. And yeah, I thought this was a very well made, made for TV animated movie. And some, well, sometimes it's just known as Arabian Nights, not always Scooby Doo and Arabian Nights, but growing up, I've always heard of it as Scooby Doo and Arabian Nights. And it is also based off of, what's it called? The Book of 1001 Nights is what it's an adaptation of. And it's basically like wraparound segments, and it's done pretty well. It's at a good pace. It's only like an hour and 9 minutes, but so it's pretty short. Definitely, probably it's just as like, well, actually, yeah, it's like around the same time as Scooby Doo Goes Hollywood, so it's not that long. But it's really well worth watching. It's very funny, Scooby Shaggy, um, getting in some trouble and all that good stuff. It has the original voices Don Messick and Casey Kasem. You also have what's his name, Frank Welker. He doesn't voice Freddy in this one. It's just Scooby and Shaggy in this one, but Frank Welker is one of the other voices, and uh, you also have let's see who else is in this one. Um, you got Eddie Deason, Greg Burson, Charlie Adler, Brian Cummings, Nick Jameson, Greg Burzin, and Jennifer Hale, John Kessler, Rob Paulson, Brian Cummings, yet again, Paul Eating, Tony J, Kath Susie, I think it's how you pronounce her name, Alan Melvin, uh, let's see, Charlie Adler, Maurice LaMarche, and Maurice LaMarche, you probably might remember him. He voiced Egon in the real and the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoons, and so he's very good. And Don Messick is the voice of Scooby, and this is the last performance he did of Scooby before he retired a couple of years after this came out. And he actually passed away um, quite a while after this was done. So rest in peace to Don Messick, and also rest in peace to Casey Kasem, of course, the Shaggy. They were very talented people, and they're greatly missed, without a doubt. And It's definitely not the best Scooby-Doo movie there ever was, but it's still very good. And it's not one of my personal favorites. Like I said, I didn't grow up with this one, and I actually didn't see it until pretty recently. So a lot of you like it probably be a lot of your guys' favorites, but for me, not so much because I saw it later in life, and it's kind of one of those where I wish I saw it sooner. But that's better than not seeing it at all. So you know, I can't really complain. But you can get it for pretty cheap these days. So if you want to pick it up, I recommend you to. And also, if you have kids and they haven't seen it, I recommend watching it with them. And it was also pretty cool the whole uh, Aladdin type story about it was with a girl. I thought that was pretty cool, and the whole part of Scooby and Shaggy going to Arabia, I thought was a pretty interesting plot line, and Yogi Bear as the genie, I thought was perfect. He was very funny. So those of you who are a fan of Yogi Bear and Magilla Gorilla will definitely like this one. It's very good. So definitely check it out. It's a classic, and I highly recommend you guys pick it up if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it and you haven't seen it for a long time. Definitely give it a shot again. And yeah, that's basically it. So thank you guys so much for watching my review of Scooby-Doo and Arabian Nights, and stay tuned for more reviews coming up. And I'll see you guys then.